So happy to see everyone. So glad that we could be together again on this lovely Monday. So if you are ready, we're going to jump right into things. So find yourself a comfortable seat if you haven't already. And we'll start with just a little adjustment in our chair. So why don't we just give ourselves a little moment here to maybe shift from side to side. Maybe even noticing that as we're shifting, the weight is shifting in our feet as well as our bottoms of our seats. So shifting one foot and then the other, one side and then the other, and then go ahead and find your center. So we'll just settle in here, finding that nice tall spine that runs along the center line of our body, our energetic center. And if you are already ready to close your eyes, go right ahead and just settle in, closing eyes or just softening eyes towards the floor. And then from here, I already naturally start to turn my attention towards the breath, and perhaps now you might find yourself doing the same thing. We're going to turn our attention to our breath. Just start with a few soft breaths here, in and out through the nose. If you happen to be holding some extra tension, or if you happen to be just feeling a little bit of surge of energy, you might like to take some sighing breaths just to get ourselves a little more grounded. So you can take a breath in through the nose and a big sighing breath out. And don't be shy. Go ahead and let out a little bit of noise when you take a big sighing breath out. You might really let your jaw become loose and heavy as you let the air out. We'll take one more breath any way we like. Beautiful. And from here, we'll start a little bit of a more intentional breath. So let's bring one hand over our heart, and then we can bring a second hand over the belly if we like. And we'll begin to breathe into our hands like a rolling breath. This is our 3-part belly breath. So we start inhaling into the bottom hand, feeling the belly rise, feeling the belly fill up with air. And then exhale and just let the belly deflate, let the air push out. We'll do that again a second time, inhaling to the belly, and then letting the low ribs lift as well. And then exhale, releasing, pressing that air back out. Next time, inhale to the belly, the ribs all the way up into our upper chest. Feeling the top hand lift, and then exhale, releasing everything back down. And keep breathing now in this fashion, inhaling to the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale to release. Continue to breathe our 3-part breath at your own pace now. Might be a little faster or a little slower than my pace. Just allowing the breath to fill up belly, ribs, and chest all the way to the top hand. And then release, relax. Couple more. Paying close attention to how the breath feels in the body. Perhaps allowing the breath to become a little more fluid, a little more connected. So inhaling, rolling all the way up, and then rolling all the way down, like one fluid motion, just like a wave, without getting stuck or stopping at the top or the bottom. Beautiful. Take your final 3-part breath here. And then as you exhale, let the hands float down to the knees. Beautiful. Finding one more anchor point for our breath today. Inhaling, we'll turn our palms to face up, backs of our hands resting on the tops of our knees. Exhaling, we turn the palms down on the knees. So just a little bit of an anchor for a natural breath here, a natural rhythm. Noticing how the breath is feeling in the body and how the body responds to this intentional breath work. Notice if there's any shifts or changes to your thoughts, to your nervous system, or your just overall sense of peace and stillness. Take one more breath as you turn your palms up. Exhaling to turn palms back down. Lovely work. Hands resting on our knees, feet on the floor. Let's give our toes a wiggle. So I know most of us, if not all of us, are practicing inside our homes. So you might be wearing shoes or slippers or socks or even bare feet, but just notice the sensation of the floor, the surface beneath your feet. Give your feet a little rock forward and back. And then resting our feet back on the floor, we'll find a little pressure. So we press our feet into the floor gently. Notice that the spine wants to perhaps respond as well by lengthening. So we lift through the crown and as we press through the feet, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Take a breath here. And then exhale to release. And we'll do the same motion with the hands on our legs. So pressing one or both hands gently into the tops of the thighs. A little bit of engagement here through the arms as well. Lengthening once again through the spine. Taking a full breath in. And exhale to release. Just pause for a moment and notice whatever you notice, whatever sensations you're experiencing in the body, and maybe even perhaps in the area around the body. That proprioception of our body in space, in the room. Beautiful. If your eyes are closed, we can keep them closed, or you might like to flutter them open and just take a little look around the space that you're in. Noticing colors, shapes, textures around you. Beautiful. And then we'll bring it back to center, starting to roll the shoulders now. Ooh, it's a little cool breeze flowing through here. Nice big roll of our shoulders, starting to wake up the shoulders, the neck. You might like to just gently move your head side to side or around in a circle, just in any sort of natural way that feels good. Let's pause the shoulder rolls and bring them the opposite direction now. So shoulder rolls coming forward. Wonderful. Find your way back to your mountain pose. So we roll shoulders up towards the ears, back and down. Feet pressing into the floor. Spine is lifting, crown is lifting, and we are ready. Beautiful. Let's turn our head to the right. So just feeling into that space on the left side of the neck. How is that rotation in the neck today? Taking a breath here. And then we'll exhale and send our gaze back to center. Inhaling as we turn to the left side now. Pause here. Exhale as you stay looking left. Just feeling into the right side of our neck now. Beautiful. Another inhale takes us back to center. Exhale at center and drop the chin towards the chest. So feeling into the back of our neck here. And then we'll create a little line up the center of our body using our nose as a guide. So we'll inhale, lifting the nose up, just going as far as feels comfortable and good. And then we'll lower back down. So always in our warm-up, we're easing into the movement. We don't want to overextend straight away. So we're just testing the waters here. Inhaling up, exhaling to lower. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling up. And then exhale, bring it back to center. Beautiful. We're going to drop the right ear over to the right shoulder, a little different sensation in the left side of the neck. And this time we can tuck the left hand underneath the left leg. So just under the left thigh. Or you might even hold on to your chair. Good. And keeping our right ear tipping over, just notice the sensation in the left side of the neck here as we tuck our hand under our leg. Maybe we explore turning our head down towards the floor. Maybe we explore turning our head left and right as well. Just notice all the different sensations come up. Find what feels best for you and maybe just hold there for a moment if you like. Full breath in. Exhale, bringing head back up to center, releasing that arm. The left arm that was tucked is going to start rolling on its own. So big circles with the left arm. Beautiful. The elbow comes up into that movement. Wonderful. And then let's find our half cactus arm. So the left arm staying up in air. Our right hand, our opposite hand, can hold onto the chair for support. And we're tipping the spine. So we'll find that nice curve to the spine. The hand can stay where it is, or it can come up and over the head. Just to change the sensation a little bit, opening up through the side of our ribs a little more. Take a big breath into the left side of the body. And then exhale, bring our spines back upright, elbow coming back into our ribs. We'll do that 2 more times. Holding on for support, tipping over. The hand can come along with you. Big breath here. Exhaling back to center, elbow to ribs. Last one with the breath. Big breath in. We might turn our head up towards the ceiling a little bit. And then exhale, bring everything back to center. Keep that hand where it is. I'll give a little wiggle of the fingers here and a little wave to everybody out there. Hello, hello, everyone. We're going to take that hand and open the chest back a little bit. Open the chest up by drawing the arm behind us. We might take a little peek back at that arm. Beautiful. And then cross it over to the opposite knee. Finding a little twist. 2 more times with the breath. Inhaling, elbow twisting open to the left. Exhaling as the hand crosses over to the right knee. 1 more time. Big breath in. And exhale 2. Find your twist. Both hands resting on the right leg. Press the feet a little bit firmer into the floor and turn the head just so slightly to the right side. Finding a little twist here. This is wonderful for our spine, but as always, being mindful that we're not forcing ourselves into any movements here. So if you find that the breath is getting stuck, just come out of the twist a little bit, moving the hands a little closer towards the knees. One more big breath in. And then we'll exhale, tiptoeing the fingertips back through center. Hands resting on the knees, drawing shoulders back. We'll lift the chest, finding a little cow pose. Exhale, shoulder blades move away from each other, tucking the chin, finding cat. Good. Inhale a couple more times through cow and cat. Inhale to lift the chin. Exhale to tuck it in. One more time. Inhale, shoulders back. And exhale, shoulders forward. Spine is round. Bringing it back to center with a big roll of the shoulders, finding our mountain pose. Nicely done, everyone. And then we'll balance things out for the other side. So we'll tip the left ear over to the left shoulder now. From here, we have the option to tuck our right hand underneath our right leg. So that just enhances a little bit more the stretch down the side of our neck. And then we can explore taking a look down at the floor, turning our head left to right. And then once again, if you find a sweet spot that you'd like to stay in for a little bit, you can go right there. One big breath here. Exhaling, coming back up to center. We'll release the arm from its tuck and make a big circle now with the right arm. So right arm circling in a half cactus shape. Elbow is moving up and around as well. Beautiful. Warming that right shoulder joint up. Let's find our half cactus shape in the arm. Find some stillness. And once again, finding lateral flexion with the spine. So with the left hand, we hold on for support, tipping the spine over to the left. The hand can come up as far as it wants to come. Big breath into the ribs. And then exhale back upright, back up to center. Lovely work. Two more. Big lift and reach over. And then exhaling back up. Last one. Inhaling, tipping over. And exhale back to center. Lovely. Keeping that hand where it is, a little wiggle and a wave on the right side. Hello, hello, wherever you are. And then we'll take that hand and draw it behind the body. So just a little bit behind that body. Maybe taking a look back at our hands as we cross the hand over to the opposite knee, finding a little twist. We'll just find a little flow here. Inhaling, we rotate open. Exhaling, we twist. Last one, big breath. Inhaling and exhaling, finding ourselves back in a twist on the left side. And then reminding you here that the hands can be a little closer to the hip or they might be closer to the knee, just depending on how the spine's feeling at this point in the practice. Allow the breath to be full on the inhale and the exhale. Breathing in and out through the nose as much as possible. If you find that nasal breathing is difficult for any reason at all, and you need to breathe through the mouth, imagining that you're breathing through a straw can be helpful to keep the breath nice and soft. One more breath. Inhaling and exhaling, we unravel, untwist, back to center, rolling the shoulders, finding mountain pose, and then bringing both arms up into our cactus arms. Beautiful. Gosh, it's a little chilly today. Dare I say it feels like a fall morning. We're going to open the arms out nice and wide, and then we'll bring everything into center. So bring the hands together and the elbows come towards one another as well. Feel the spine start to naturally round. We might tip forward just to enhance a little bit the roundness. And then we'll inhale, opening back to cactus arms. Feel that little arch of the spine as we do that. So lifting, really lifting through the heart. Good. Little gaze up towards the sky. Inhale and then exhale everything to center. Tucking the chin round through the spine. Couple more now with the breath, just like that. Inhaling, big lift, exhaling, big rounding. Last one. Exhale. Feeling that natural rhythm of your breath, of your body, just the rhythm of your body. It's like the music of yourself. Inhaling, coming back up to center. We'll release the arms from our hands together position and work a little bit more for the shoulders here. So we'll bring our arms out long in front of us, palms facing up like two platters on our hands. And then we'll bend the elbows, bringing the fingertips to touch the shoulders. Good. We're going to add some breath to this now. Inhaling to extend nice and long. Exhaling, fingertips touch the shoulders. Inhale to extend. Exhale to bend. Last one. Let's inhale and stay here. Exhale with arms extended. Can we turn one palm down and one palm up? This gets a little tricky, a little bit of brain yoga, but also a good rotation for the shoulders. If possible, we're going to switch the top hand and the bottom hand, or rather the hand that's up and the hand that's down. And then we'll switch again. So one hand is always up and the other one is down, and then we switch places. If that's a little too tricky, a little too much for Monday morning, you're welcome to just find the rotation of the shoulders with both hands doing the same movement. Both hands turning up and both hands turning down. So find what challenge you are looking for today. One at a time or both at the same time. And we'll do a couple more. Big breath in. Exhale. Good. Last one. Inhale. Shoulders are warm. Shoulders are hot. Exhale. Good. Let's release the arms. Give your arms a big shake. Big shake down. Fingers down at the sides. Wonderful. We're going to find our nice big somatic shake, releasing that tension from the shoulders. And we'll bring the arms up to our sides as we shake. We might find a little twist as we go. We're going to bring our hands all the way up overhead, or whatever that means to you, as high up as you can go. And we'll find a clap together on the count of 3, 2, 1. Big clap. Oh, that was perfect. That looked wonderful. Bring the hands down to our heart. Let's try that one more time since we know where we're going. A big shake of the arms. Even coming forward in your chair, moving a little bit, bringing a little bit more movement to that. The camp's being let out beside me. Big shake of the arms up overhead. Shake, shake, shake. And we're going to find our clap on the count of 3, 2, 1. Nicely done, everyone. Hands coming together at our heart. Interlacing our fingers now. Turning fingers towards your body and palms pressing out and away from you. Big stretch of the fingers. Inhale. We can lift the arms up if we like, any amount. And then exhale, release and roll the wrists all the way down. Roll out the wrists. Let's do that 2 more times. Interlacing fingers. Fingers towards you, palms press out and away from you. Inhale to lift. Exhale to roll the wrists all the way out. Last one. Inhale. Interlace fingers. Press palms away. Lift. And then exhale, roll the wrists all the way down. Beautiful work, everyone. Bring your hands together, Anjali Mudra, and we'll find just a moment here to check in with ourselves. How is everything feeling? How is everything landing today? Just noticing where you are in all the many cycles that we go through. Something that I have become much more attuned to more recently is recognizing that sometimes we may not be feeling our best or maybe having a low energy day. And that is not often a reflection of ourselves or our motivations or our, whether we are, whatever labels we want to give ourselves. But often we're just moving with the cycles of nature, of the universe, of our bodies. And so it's important and crucial really for us to respect and honor the cycles that we pass through. A little bit of just ease and grace for ourselves. We're going to move a little bit into the low body here now. So if you are ready and able to move forward in your chair, you might like to shift forward. Just create a little bit more space for the hips that way. And we'll find our mountain pose, rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. And a little march of the heels. So just lifting and lowering our heels one at a time. Starting to ease into the low body now, feeling the front of our shins, waking up the front of the ankles. And then if you're ready, you might like to lift that foot up a little higher, or you can certainly stick with heel lifts if that feels good for you today. Good. Lifting the whole foot up starts to engage different muscles, quadriceps, hip flexors, abdominal muscles. We can add a little bit of arms into that as well too. So we might start to bring one arm and then the other forward, like we're marching, kind of like we're marching through water. We've been kind of saying this week, it feels like. Beautiful. Take a couple more. Nice big full breath. And then exhale, release the feet back down, release the hands down, finding nice big mountain pose here. Beautiful work. We're going to come right into our sun salutations for a round or two, and then we'll end our practice with a few twists and a little bit more low body folding movements. So let's find a nice tall spine, imagining that we've got a beach ball in front of us. And we're going to reach for that beach ball. Before we do that, can we find that hip hinge, the hinge of our hips, as we tip forward with our hands on our knees and then lift ourselves back up. So we do that with a nice long spine. And this is how we'll start our sun salutations. So we tip forward and lift ourselves. You might even bring your hands right to the crease of your hip here, where your legs connect to your torso, just to feel that bend right in that area while we keep our spine nice and long. Beautiful. This time, reaching forward, imagining that we're picking up a beach ball. Beautiful. We're going to lift the beach ball up as high up as it feels good and take a big breath in. As we exhale, release the hands and bring elbows to our sides for cactus arms. Good. Shining our hearts nice and bright. Let's rotate the shoulders. Hands are pressing down towards the floor. Beautiful. Nice tall spine. Lift the arms forward. Hold one wrist and a big stretch through the back of our body here. You might tuck the chin. You might stay here for a moment and give your head a little shake and a nod. Good. And then sit up tall. Wiggle those fingers, and then we'll let the hands float down to our knees. Tucking the elbows in nice and close. Roll the shoulders back, and then find that hip hinge once again. So hinging forward, this time pressing into the knees, using the strength in the arms to lift your upper body. Good. Two more, just like that. Inhaling as we tip forward, pressing with the heel of your hand into your knees to lift your upper body. And last one, inhale forward. Exhale to lift. Beautiful. We'll find a forward fold here. You might like to tuck your chin, keeping your head above your heart, or you might feel good to come forward to on your elbows, holding on to your forearms. Giving your head a little sway again, side to side. Forward and back. from our forward fold, I'm going to invite a little twist into our forward fold. So we're going to bring our right hand just right to our right hip. The left hand, the elbow can stay where it is, but we might just take a little peek over to the right. So we're in a forward fold, but we're also twisting open over to the right side. Drawing the shoulder and elbow back a little bit further. Big breath in. Exhale, and then releasing back to our forward fold. And then we'll switch sides. So our right elbow on our right knee, left hand comes to the left hip, and then we start to rotate open to the left side for our twist. Good. This is like a twisted chair pose. Big breath. Exhale, find your way back to your forward fold. And stay for a breath. And then finally bringing hands to our knees, we'll walk our hands back up to our lap, unraveling the spine slowly. Head coming up last, circling the arms around the body, and then bringing them together anywhere above anywhere above or in front before dropping hands to our heart. Beautiful. We'll do another round, reaching forward for our beach balls as we inhale to lift beach balls up overhead. Exhaling, elbows to our sides, cactus arms. Rotate shoulders down, pushing towards the floor. And then inhale, lift the arms up, pull one wrist forward and gently stretch out the back body. Find a tall spine. Inhale and wiggle the fingers. Exhale to let the fingers float down to our knees. We'll find our push-up. So we roll the shoulders back and tuck the elbows before leaning forward and then pushing ourselves up. Are you able to engage the arms so that you can feel the triceps using a little bit of strength to push your upper body up? One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale to lift. This time finding forward fold, coming all the way down or bringing chin to chest. Some of us might be feeling quite sturdy and wanting to even bring the hands a little further down towards the ankles, but only do that if it feels really sturdy for you to do so. The feet are nice and firm on the floor. Big breath in. Beautiful. Wherever you are, can we bring both hands to the knees? And we're going to find a twist once again. This time, we can bring our right arm up into a half cactus shape, or we might even extend our arm out a little bit longer out to the corners beside us for our twist. Take a big breath here. One more breath. And then exhale, bring it back into your forward fold. Beautiful. Same thing on the left side. We'll bring the left arm into a half cactus arm. Good. And we might stay here, or we might reach the fingertips out towards the sky or the ceiling or the corner. Take a big breath. Good. Just looking to the side, looking up to the hands. Exhale, bring everything back into forward fold. Pause for a beat. And then make your way back up. Once again, slowly unraveling through the spine. Head coming up last. Inhale by circling the arms up and palms coming together. Hands floating down to our heart. Beautiful. Let's do that 2 more times just to Close our sun salutation. Inhale, maybe bringing the gaze up to the hands. Exhale, hands float down to the heart. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Pause and check in with yourself again. Noticing how the body is feeling, how the mind, the energy of the body. There's so many elements that we can check in with, depending on the day, depending on how we're feeling. Let's release the hands down to our knees and find a little bit of a slowed down practice now in the low body. So bringing our hands behind our right knee, we're going to find a big stretch for the hip here, lifting that knee up as high as feels good and lowering down. Couple more just to ease back into the hip. Last one. Big lift. And then that next time, can we lift the knee up and find a little rolling out of the ankle? So we're just rolling one direction and back the other way. Lovely. We can bring that foot down to the floor and slide our heel forward. So we've got some softness in the foot and softness in the knee as well. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to start here with a little forward fold. So we keep that nice tall spine, find the hip hinge once again, starting to walk the hands forward. You can stop or pause at any point where you start to notice the stretch in the hamstring. That's the back of our thigh. You might feel it a little, you might feel it a lot, but if you do start to feel it in the calf muscle, we're going to just find a little bit of a softer foot. So we can bring the toes towards the floor a little more if you feel the stretch in the calf. See if we can find a comfortable position now to really support the upper body. And let your breath become heavier and longer on the exhale. Feeling the grounding energy now drawing you down. Allow 2 more breaths here. On your next exhale, you can bring yourself back up, unraveling slowly. Keeping the leg where it is, we're going to bring both hands to the outside of that extended leg. So for me, that's the right leg. Both hands coming to the outside hip on the right side. Now you might reach your hand behind you. Perhaps you feel a little bit more ready now to come into a bit of a deeper twist. We've done a lot of twisting in our practice today. So many beautiful benefits for twisting. Of course, benefits to the spine, but also to our digestive system, our organs. Taking a few deep breaths. Allowing the face to soften. On the next inhale, can we release our hands, bringing them back to center, bringing that long foot back in close, and just to counter, just to find a little pose to sort of neutralize, we'll bring both feet together, and find our butterfly pose. So the inner edges of our feet might touch. We might roll to the outer edges of the feet and let the knees just naturally separate. Finding a tall spine, letting the knees hang as much as possible. Finding some softness again in the face, in the breath. Letting that sensation wash over the whole body here. Take one more final breath. And then as we exhale, bringing the knees together. Feet back on the floor. And then finding our way to the left knee. Bringing our hands beneath the left knee. Find a little lifting and lowering of the left side. Good. 2 or 3 times just to loosen things up, and then find your way back to a lift, a knee lift, and we'll roll that foot out, roll that ankle one way and then the other. Beautiful. Bringing it softly back to the floor and sliding that leg out long in front of you. Good. Feel free to just make any adjustments that you need to in your chair. And then we'll come into a forward fold here on the left side, half leg forward fold. So finding length through the spine, hands can walk. We walk down slowly just to encourage a nice long spine as we hinge forward and not to overextend ourselves, to really explore where our limits are. Because with these types of poses, it's helpful to come up to your edge, find your edge, and then perhaps back off just a little bit so that we really are able to enjoy the stretch rather than feel like we're forcing anything. So once you've got to the place where you can notice a stretch in the hamstring, then you might start to round the spine a little more. Tuck the chin. Close the eyes if the balance will allow. And if not, just softly either gazing at the foot or gazing at a soft spot on the floor. Find one more breath here. And then exhale, slowly walking back up. Unraveling the spine. And then we'll find our way into our twist on the left side. Walking the hands up towards the hip. And then again, this time you might reach back for the back of your chair. Few breaths in our twist. Good. Next inhale, slowly releasing, coming back to center. Sliding our long foot in. If there's any final poses that would feel good for you, maybe sometimes we might like to do a little cat and cow after we twist. And then finding your way all the way back in your chair. coming into our final relaxation for just a few moments. Letting the body rest heavily in our seat. Feeling the support of your chair beneath you. Feeling the muscles in the body starting to relax, release, and just feeling the mind beginning to let go, that final little bit. Using the breath as the anchor. Softening. Breathing in, breathing out. Slowly beginning to bring your awareness back into your room, into your body. Letting the breath become fuller and deeper now. Beginning to bring gentle movement back into your hands and your feet. And then maybe allowing the movement to grow into other parts of the body before finding your way back to your seat with hands resting together at our heart. We'll close our practice with a little moment of gratitude, beginning with rubbing our palms together, finding warmth, energy there, and then placing our palms over our eyes. We say thank you to our Mother Earth for always sustaining and nourishing us. We say thank you to our community of family and friends here with us, as well as the ancestors and teachers who passed before us. And we say thank you to ourselves for honoring our needs and creating this sacred space for our practice. And finally, bringing hands together at your heart so I may bow to each of you in gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for allowing me to share this beautiful practice of yoga with you. Satnam Namaste, and I wish everyone a wonderful rest of their day. Thank you, everyone.